Hey guys, this is Jim Doyle and I'll be your instructor for the course. And I just want to take a few minutes to welcome you and to quickly go over and highlight some of the key parts of our syllabus so that you'll be familiar with the expectations associated with this class. I'm excited you're here. There's a lot going on in the criminal justice system today that I think evaluating the history of our criminal justice system will hopefully help us gain a better perspective on some of the changes that have been taking place throughout the last several years in terms of the criminal justice system as a whole. I just want to take a few minutes, like I said, just to go over the syllabus with you and specifically highlight some of the key components. Okay, so let me just drop myself down into the corner here. There I go. First thing is the course term. Our course term runs from October 30th to December 23rd, 2017. Please keep in mind that December 23rd date is important because that's the date our course officially closes, and no assignments can be accepted beyond that date because that's the date our course officially closes. This class runs through Thanksgiving and then obviously into the Christmas holidays. So try to stay focused. I know we get busy during the holiday season. I'll try to remind you as we move along, and I'll try to work with you during the Thanksgiving holiday. Let me take a look at what exactly is due that week, and maybe we'll make some little bit of tweaks on when some of the assignments are due to maybe allow you a little extra time with your family. So I'll evaluate that, and again, as we get closer to the Thanksgiving holiday, I will post something, an announcement, if I think we're going to adjust any due dates to your benefit. Okay? So here's my contact information. Feel free to get a hold of me anytime you want. This is my phone number, 909-367-8994. You can call or text me anytime you have a question or concern, or if you have some type of family emergency. Again, feel free to use that phone number. If you text me, just let me know who you are and what class you're with. Otherwise, you can feel free to email me as well anytime. And this is my Cal Baptist email address, jdoyle@calbaptist.edu. If we need to have any office hours, we can make some type of arrangements that we can either talk on the phone or some other type of use of technology that will help us in contacting each other. Okay? So again, feel free to contact me anytime you have an issue or concern. Again, you're not going to bother me if you call me on the weekends. Most certainly you can email me anytime that you want. Okay? One of the things I do ask is that if you do email me, to please use your Cal Baptist email account, your email address. There's some laws dealing with communications from instructor to students that we aren't using our Cal Baptist website. So if you happen to forget, I may just send you a note saying, hey, I got your email on your personal account or your question on your personal account, and I responded to you on your Cal Baptist email. All right, so again, just keep in mind, it's a little bit easier. And then, like I said, there are laws now regarding correspondence and how those correspondence should be completed, and it should be done using the specific email address that you're given from Cal Baptist. Okay, so just keep that in mind, but if not, I'll keep you aware of it. Here's our textbook, so please try to grab the book as soon as you can. We have weekly quizzes that are associated with the textbook, so it's going to be important that you get the book. If for whatever reason you run into a snafu with getting the textbook in a timely manner, please contact me so I can work with you for the first week or two until you get your textbook. All right, but again, try to get that textbook as soon as you can. This is the course objectives and goals, and I'm going to go ahead and let you review those yourself. But I do want to spend a little bit of time going over the assignments and an overview. Obviously, the readings are important, so again, make sure you get your book. Take a look at whatever lectures that may be posted or whatever PowerPoints may be posted for you Also take a look at the weekly announcements that I post. Sometimes I may post a short little lecture in the announcements and not necessarily in Blackboard. So please make sure you take a look at those. I'll post my announcements every week. Usually I do it Sunday evening. So again, research everything, take a look at the announcements, make sure you do the readings, and stay up on our weekly activities. We will have weekly discussion threads, which will take place from Monday through Sunday. There will be no discussion board, however, for week 8, so keep that in mind as we get towards the end of the course. All your postings need to be completed by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. because remember, we run our courses from Monday through Sunday. I strongly encourage you to participate frequently throughout the week. In other words, don't log in on Monday night at 10:30 p.m. and do all your work at one time. I think what's important about discussion boards is you having the opportunity to read your classmates' thoughts and ideas, and your classmates having an opportunity to read your thoughts and ideas with enough time to have some sense of dialogue between you and your classmates. Okay, so try to do that if you can. I know sometimes we get busy, but try not to wait till the last day of the week to participate. That I think tends to loosen the value of this type of an assignment. So you have to complete a discussion thread, which consists of one original thought, your response, and you have to respond to at least one commentary or question to a fellow classmate. So be substantive in those responses. Don't be short and say something like, Joe, I agree with you 100%, good job. Make it substantive, meaning adding knowledge to the discussion in some level, okay? So make sure you do that as you contemplate your response to your classmates. So you only have to respond to one classmate, and again, you need to have one substantive original post. That post should be about 200 words, which isn't that long, but please give it some thought. Keep in mind that in week 1, there's a discussion thread as well as an introductory bio. And the introductory bio is worth, I think, 5 points. And then the thread for that week is worth 20 points. So please make sure you do both so you get credit for each of those. I think it's important that in these type of classes that you take the time to identify yourself to your classmates, so we all get to know each other, okay? You're going to be given a full week to complete these discussion threads. So absent instructor approval, in other words, something happens and you need more time, you need to get a hold of me. Post entered after Sunday deadline will not be graded, so you get a 0. All right, so again, get it done by Sunday night. If you have some type of emergency, you can email me. I can evaluate it and determine whether or not I think it meets the criteria worthy of an extension for you. If you end up getting an extension, then it'll fall under our late policy, which I'll go over here in just a minute. Again, we have weekly quizzes based on your chapter reading, so take a look at those. Make sure you get those on time. Again, absent approval of the instructor, there'll be no makeup test provided, no exceptions. So again, get it done. If you have some type of issue or emergency, send me a note. I can evaluate it and I can give you my response. All right. It's important that the discussion threads and quizzes you stay on top of, because once you start falling behind, it is really difficult, really difficult to catch up. Written assignments, you have a couple of short written essays. You can take a look at the topics as you peruse the course itself. Essays must be in APA format, including a title page, abstract, and reference page. So take a look at that. It's only going to be a couple pages long. And you can see the assignment instructions in Blackboard. So please make sure that you take a look at that. When these are due, I'll have some type of an announcement or a short lecture to sort of help you understand what it is we're looking for in that particular assignment. Take a look at the midterm. We do have one midterm. Again, absent approval of the instructor, there can be no makeup. So if you have issues or questions or concerns, then you need to get a hold of me. One of the things I really want to spend some time in is this critical assignment. Now, this is structured as a team research paper, but it doesn't have to be. You can do this on your own if you wish. And some of the other classes I've had, just about everyone has decided to do it on their own. I know with online classes, each of you probably have a different work schedule, different days off, different family needs. So it's really up to you how you want to approach this. But if you want to do it on your own, you need to send me an email or notify me somehow that you want to opt out of the group project and do it by yourself. All right. And then that'll be fine with me. But we can't be flip-flopping back and forth. All right. For those of you who end up being in a group, if you elect to be in a group, or if you know some of the other classmates and you want to form a group of about 4 people or so, let me know who's in the group, and then what I do is I'll set up a page for you so that you can interact with each other online and share information and come up with a strategy on how you want to deal with this particular assignment. Okay. So that's one of the first things you really need to consider as you go through this. So basically what we're doing is, for this paper, is you need to research a paper on, you're going to provide a research paper on a historical criminal justice event or incident that helped shape some facet of modern day progressive law enforcement. You can use real world examples of challenges that have arisen as the criminal justice system progressed from the beginning to the current day. So we're talking about challenges associated with law enforcement, not the courts, not the corrections, law enforcement. And I've made a short list here just this afternoon, and I can give you some ideas on things that have helped shape modern law enforcement. So you can take a look at police use of force and how the courts have interpreted what force is reasonable, and how that in turn has shaped policies and procedures in law enforcement in dealing with use of force. You can look at police interrogation practices, same thing, how the courts gotten involved and how they've controlled and regulated police interrogations. You can look at the influence of Sir Robert Peel, which you'll learn about her in the weeks to come. You can write about the broken windows theory, which has been around for a while. Some people are critical of it. Some people still think it's important part of policing philosophy, so you can take a look at that. You can look at the Kansas City Preventive Patrol experiment, which really changed how law enforcement structures its patrol and its expectations for officers in terms of merely driving around to prevent activities versus focusing your efforts on more specific locations based on information. You could discuss how terrorism has changed law enforcement. You can look at the militarization of policing, in other words, police using military type equipment as part of its repertoire of responding to specific types of calls. That has come under fire in some instances. President Obama tried to reduce the amount of equipment that can go to local law enforcement, and then President Trump ended up changing that. So a lot of that equipment is now back available. It's a big debate on and off. You can take a look at that if you want. Professionalization of law enforcement, going from part-time work to full-time work, how that has played. You can look at technology, the idea of CompStat, which is computer-generated statistical information that is used to help deploy officers to specific locations based on specific crime patterns and trends, and maybe even look at the civilianization of policing and how has that changed. So that's your critical assignment. But the biggest thing, again, is you need to make up your mind early on whether you want to do this as an individual or as a group. Now, if I don't get enough people, if enough people say they want to do it as an individual and there isn't enough for a group, then it'll become an individual project, not a group project. If some of you are still interested in the group and you don't have people to join the group with you, then I will go and assign people, and we'll work that out logistically as we progress further. Okay, but that's what the important part is. And then the final exam, we have a final exam. One last thing I need to go over quickly before my time is up here is the late policy. Late assignments will receive deduction as follows: 1 to 2 days late, 10%; 3 to 5 days late, 15%; 6 to 7 days late, 20%. And absent instructions approval, no assignments can be accepted beyond 7 days. Okay, so read through this syllabus. If you have any questions, please let me know. any questions whatsoever, I'll be here to help you out. Outside of that, thank you and have a good week.